If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joy Baird. Well, today we're going to plant some no-dig potatoes. If you've followed us on our channel at any length, you'll know that we have not had great success with potatoes. If this is your first time on the channel, thank you for joining us. We decided last year we wasn't specifically going to plant potatoes due to the low yield that we got. We've had a number of different planting methods, and we just haven't had that abundant yield that many other gardeners we see online have. Now we understand that different factors, different regions, all of that stuff. So we wasn't going to designate a specific grow area for potatoes. However, we have practiced this no-dig potato planting method and harvesting method several years in the past, and it has done quite successful for the limited amount of effort that we put forth. So we had this basket of potatoes that we harvested last August-ish, and we never made it through. It was planted about where you're standing right there in a no-dig method. So these potatoes, though they could be popped off and cleaned and eaten, the more beneficial factor in this, or the better alternative, would be to go ahead and plant them in the ground and at least get some kind of return on what we've got instead of a bunch of wrinkled, shriveled up potatoes. All of these have eyes on them, so we didn't do anything but leave them in this basket in a storage, in a pantry for the duration of since harvest. Now anything that you see small like this may not yield anything at all. More likely these things are going to yield, but we're going to put everything in the ground. So how are we going to do it? I've worked up this bed. It's about 4 foot wide by 5 foot long, give or take. We just flip the soil over. That's all you have to do. There's even some instructional videos saying you don't have to do this. You just put them on the ground and then put material on top of it. We'll get that in a minute. But I just wanted to have a certain designated area tilled up or loosened up. So all we're doing is I'm just throwing them in here. There's no rhyme, reason, spacing whatsoever. We're just putting them on the ground here, and nothing special. Okay, it's planted. Now, next step, we're going to fertilize based on the fertilize instructions in the back of the package. You can adjust it for however much more or less. Just going to do a little dusting here. Nothing special. All right, that's done. Now, got a pile of leaves in front of you. Those and some straw here, so we'll go with the straw first. All we're doing is not throwing it directly on, but we're loosening it up. There'll be a slight smashing of it. Now, if you don't have straw, don't worry about it. You can use leaves. If you don't have leaves, don't worry about it. You can use dry, chemical-free, and seed-free grass clippings over top of your potatoes. Just save your grass clippings, put them on the driveway, let them dry, and then just pile them on top. Now, what you may have to do throughout this 90 to 120 day cycle based on your variety of potatoes is you would have to continue to add more material on top of your bed. Now, it's not because if the stem continues to grow, more potatoes will develop on the stem. Potatoes only develop at a certain depth, and that's all they do. You can have a 30-foot long potato stem under soil. It's not going to produce any more potatoes. That's a garden myth. What we're covering up is the tubers that are developing, preventing sunlight from getting a hold of, from exposing them to sunlight, changing them to a green tint, which can be toxic and is not recommended to be consumed if they are green potatoes. That's why we continue to backfill or cover the potatoes over. Now, got about 6-8 inches of leaves and material on top of it. What we can do now is have a limb that fell from the tree, And I'm just going to throw that on top of it just to hold it down. That's it. In 4 weeks or so, you're going to start, maybe even quicker based on the warmth of the soil, which needs to be at least 45 degrees. You're going to see the green growth start to pop up, and then you can still put more grass clippings or more material around it just to keep the sunlight from getting to the tubers. When the top growth dies off, you can just rake this off and harvest your potatoes. Easy as that. No dig potatoes. Thanks for watching. Join me again next time for more organic gardening, garden tips, and planting techniques.
For more information, please visit the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden